You know what this barge needs? Seats and a steering wheel. That would be handy. So if you haven't seen any of the other videos, this is a pontoon boat that I picked up on Craigslist. Painted the paneling here, put in a new deck and carpet, and that's basically where we are. So the plan today is to get the steering console, aka helm, in its position, and hopefully a seat or two. So here I am in the side door. The original console screwed in the middle of this, or the middle of the console screwed in here. So when you open the door, it stopped right about there because it would smack the console. That's just dumb in my opinion. The plan is to have the door actually open, most of the way. So I'll be moving the console back a little bit. The problem with doing that is we're going to eliminate some space in the back, which isn't really a problem because I don't have that many friends that are going to go in this boat at the same time. And it'll save me a couple $100 on another seat to go back there. So win-win in my book. Now if you saw the video when I was ripping the old deck out, you may have seen me kick over the console, cut out the steering cable, and throw the whole thing away. So all of that I need now to replace. But luckily, I have a father who is a woodworker who can whip me up one. Okay, this is the little switch panel I picked up for the console. I got this one on Amazon, pretty basic, but it also has a little USB port here. Now, it also tells you the voltage of the battery. I kind of wish it didn't have that and just had USB, but I'll live with it for now. Worst case, I can change it out. Now, with that, I also needed something else, which is a horn button. Kind of important. This is a momentary switch, where these are not. So I got to swap this out. Pretty easy to do. Just kind of push in little tabs in the back, pop out the wiring. There you go. We have a trim gauge for the Evinrude. We have a volt gauge for anything, and we have an Evinrude tachometer, or tachometer for Evinrude. That'll go up to 70,000 or 7,000 RPM. With that, we also have a little selection of cup holders, because that's the important part. Okay, so here's the problem. The bolts have a shoulder on them, and the nuts have bottomed out on the bolts. So we gotta change them out with some bolts that have shoulders. Or not shoulders, rather. Alright, you ready? Yep. Oh, thank you. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, which one do you want to start? The back one?
I don't care. Whichever one turns off. Yeah, that one's fine. Go ahead.
Alright, we're installing the cable now. So what I do here fish this through every hole, all the way down to the console. Alright. After a slight order mishap, my fault apparently, I needed a 11-foot cable according to the measurements. So I ordered an 11-foot cable. Well, it turns out an 11-foot cable is only 8 feet long, so I ordered a 14-foot cable to get my 11-foot length. Make sense? And it doesn't to me either. Alright, I am back up top of the boat, trying to guess which way I should install the cable, because they can go on the top or the bottom. I'm kind of guessing the bottom, but you know, I really don't know. The instructions don't really say, nor are the instructions really that good. So I'm just going to go ahead and guess and hope for the best. Alright, cable is in and the shaft's positioned according to the steering wheel to make sure it's centered-ish. Goes there, like so. These are the removing pins when time comes. Now it goes into the hole. Hey. Alright, these 1/4 20 screws are a little longer than they should be, but these screws will help me put them in and hold this thing's position as I attach the actual screws. Just like so. The actual screws are these things. Need a socket wrench. Now, the screw is so close here, you can't get a socket wrench on it. Alright, that is done. Now here's my complaint with this. This thing, the safe steering little bezel thing here, has 2 holes right on the outside. When they're installed straight, it hits this screw, and the edges kind of rub on that screw. So off-centered is as straight as you're getting it. It's kind of stupid. So the wood here is pretty hard, pretty strong, pretty thick. It's hard to put a screw straight through. So we're going to drill a little pilot hole and allow the screw to go through easier. Alright, now we're going to start installing gauges. Plan on making a video later where I actually go through and show people how to wire these. That won't be in this video. That'll be later when the rest of the book's electrical goes in. So I like to do a lot of diving / river treasure hunting. So a depth gauge is kind of handy for that. So this is the gauge I want. It's old, used, and they're expensive to replace. That's why I'm using this one. Alright, I'm going to put the cup holders in, get the important stuff out of the way.
Oh no.
It's peeling off in sections.
You got anything up here? Oh, here we go. I might have it now.
So Father and I are struggling with this paper. The double-sided tape of this thing. It's coming off in sections for the one he's trying to do, just like that one did. It's kind of fun.
Okay, got mine ready.
Yep, this one too. Uh-oh. Perfect. All right, according to the instructions, put this through the hole, put the bezel on, and then a washer and a nut on those, and these guys just get the ring terminals.
Okay, right there.
So the 3/4 inch walnut doesn't give me enough room to get screws in the back of there. Probably gonna have to cut off each one of these little
Which
tabs.
is probably what they're for.
Yeah, I guess. So those gotta go. All right, that's better. Suppose this side will be the trim.
What's the issue? Steering wheel?
So if you add 3/4 of an inch to that, you don't have the
Oh, it's not
room to get
sticking
the
out.
screws on. So what I'm wondering is if we can just cut the entire bracket off. Flipping it around doesn't work because all it does is it goes about there, but
And
the
that's-
wood's
it's
like
not-
right here.
Yeah, that's not wide enough, yeah.
So I'm thinking just cut and then cut so it has little feet to grab.
Oh, and then it has these 2 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. How do you want to do that?
Hacksaw or hacksaw would probably be the easiest.
On it. Now for the volts. And that worked fine too.
Square that up for you, make sure it's...
All right, so the gauges are all in. They look pretty good. They're probably gonna have to come back out to wire them, but no big deal. There's enough room over here for anything else I should want to add, or a speedometer if I want to add that, but I really don't think I ever will, but it's there should I need it. Volts gauge didn't really need, but you know, you never know. Trim gauge I thought I was gonna want. So sitting here at where the seat will be, you can just see the motor, so I don't really need the trim gauge. Now the switch bezel, which will need to be modified even further. Horn switch is in though, so that's got that going for it. So the studs go into the seat cushion back thing,
Yeah.
and then it'll sit onto the base here, and then wing nuts from underneath.
Wing nuts and washers?
Yeah.
And they've got 4 lock washers and 4 big washers, so big washers on first.
Yep.
Grandpa's. Those are Grandpa's. You can have this, but you can't have those. Those are Grandpa's. But you can have this. It's okay. Screws are in there? Count them for me. Yeah, count them. Let me know how many are in there. Make sure they're all there. That shouldn't be much of a guide.
No.
Should be pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah. What the?
Okay.
So this little stop, we believe, holds the seat cushion down to the frame. We'll find out in a second.
All right. There. Perfect. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. All Alright, now we're screwing in base number 2. Alright, back seat is almost in and done. Okay. Having fun? Alright, rear seats are in. Looking good, holding there. Doesn't quite line up, but what are you gonna do? So there is one upgrade I'd like to make to these seats. Now that's better. Alright, now for the steering wheel. Now that key was fighting me the whole time a second ago. Now it fell right in.
Want to sit down?
And here is the steering wheel.
You want to sit here?
And there goes the key. And that, my friends, is where we are currently. Now, I ordered the seats white. They came gray. And then I went and read my order. I ordered them gray. But I like the gray better than the white, so I'm rolling with the gray. The console needs a panel installed right here, but it'll go in after all the wiring goes in. And it's a pretty good height for standing or sitting. At least I assume sitting. I haven't put the seat in yet, but standing it's pretty comfortable. Now here is the neat thing about this console. That is a trash can in the front of the console, already being used, as you can see. I think that is an absolute great addition. My friends that have a pontoon boat, they always have a trash bag kind of clamped onto the back of the boat or tied to the back of the boat somehow. It looks kind of trashy, but that's where it's at, let me tell you. And I can use it for other stuff if I don't bring the trash along. And the upholstery looks pretty good. We knew what the seats looked like in color and everything, but we didn't really put 2 and 2 together, so the gray swoosh kind of goes up. But on the seats it grays down. We had a upholstery shop make these for us. I made this one. I'll show you that footage. And that was the first time I ever actually sewed something. Now I practiced a couple of times before I did that one, so I guess that would have been the first. But this is my first actual sewing project. Worked great. Really makes the gray line kind of continue. Well, that's it for now. Looks like probably another $1,000 to do the front seats. We're running low on money, so that's going to have to wait for a little bit. But I'll continue working on the boat until I get seats. Questions, thoughts, and opinions? Let me know. Curious to see what you guys think. All right, see you next video.